So, what's good, everybody? Before I start this video off, I want to say happy late 4 months post-op to me. My chest is looking great. Still visible scars, but a little bit of man chi-chi's kind of hiding them. With that being said, I'm back in Connecticut, and I want to talk about insurance. Now, I had a discussion with a trans woman that saw, I guess, a video of mine in a group and reached out to me regarding whether she should document her changes and when and how to go about it. And she told me that I should probably talk about insurances and my experience with them. And honestly, I was feeling pretty down about myself today and was like, who cares about my insurances? Like, it's not important enough to actually sit there and make a video about. But she said she was waiting on that video and it helped motivate me, so I'm gonna make my video. But I've already talked about the Connecticut versus Ohio thing and how healthcare in Ohio sucks, but I want to talk about my personal experience with Ohio healthcare. Now, for 6 years, I was on IM injections. Now, on my 6th year, when I went to switch to the gel, they actually sent me a letter saying they denied my shots anyways because they wanted me to do the gel, which I was already getting on, so was fine with me at the time. But when I was on the gel, I moved to Connecticut and we checked my levels and they were only at 200. And for male range, it's about 600, 700, and 900. And that was not cutting it. I was not having it. So I got back on sub-Q. Now, the auto injectors that I get from my insurance, from my primary doctor, is covered by my insurance in Connecticut, and I had no issues whatsoever getting them covered. Well, my doctor in Ohio recently, when I went back, wrote me a prescription for them, and I was waiting for them in UPS, and it had been a week and a half, so I called and said, yo, what's up with my shots? You guys are lowering my dose because I need it lowered, but I can't keep taking these 100 milligram shots when you guys want me to take 75 milligram shots. It's not healthy. Why am I not getting my stuff? So basically they said, oh, well, your stuff was denied. I'm like, well, when was it denied? Because you guys could have told me a lot sooner because I'm short shots now. So basically they said they want you to try the gel first. I'm like, I was on the gel through this insurance. They know that I did the gel first. So why are they denying me because they want me to do the gel? I already tried the gel. It didn't work. So they submitted that claim. Then they were like, well, now you have to do patches. I'm allergic to adhesive. That's not gonna work. Well, they submitted that, and then they said that I have to inject my testosterone myself, and I have anxiety disorder. So I cannot there's not enough time between me passing out and starting drawing the stuff out of the needle. I can't hold a needle and not pass out. So it's impossible for me to inject myself. It's easier to just do it with an auto injector. It's done in 5 minutes and I don't have to worry about my shot days. It reduces my anxiety. And I told them this, and my doctor was like, well, can you just try to get it off of your doctor in Connecticut? I'm like, whatever. You guys were like no help whatsoever. I went to like 2 appointments with them, and they failed to get me my testosterone, and they failed to get me my medical marijuana card. They last minute, the day before my appointment to get my medical card, told me I needed proof of residency, which I did not have. because it has to be an official document, and I don't have anything in my name in Ohio. So it's impossible for me to get my medical marijuana card, and they didn't tell me that until the day before my appointment to get it, which led to my psychiatrist taking me off of my anxiety medication because I had THC in my system, and it was illegal THC. So going back to Ohio was a big wreck. Basically, my doctors didn't know how to write up my prescriptions correctly to get them covered, because my doctor in Connecticut had no issues getting my auto injectors covered, and I know a guy who goes to the same clinic that gets his auto injectors covered by the same insurance. So I'm not understanding what happened, but Ohio healthcare sucks, and their doctors suck, because they waited a week after I was denied for my shots to tell me that they need to do an alternative, which I've tried all of the alternatives and none of them worked. So ultimately they couldn't get anything done that I went to them for. And as a result of them not getting things done, I got taken off of a medication that I desperately needed. Thank God that my primary in Connecticut, since I moved back to Connecticut, is actually prescribing me my anxiety medications now, until I can get to a psychiatrist. But basically, this whole point of the story was Ohio has a step system to their testosterone, their HRT for F to Ms. They will deny anything other than IM and sub-Q injections, where you draw out the needle yourself and inject yourself. They will deny anything else besides that, and patches and gel. So if you do an auto injector or anything fancy, they're going to deny it unless you have a solid reason to not, that you need that specific medication. And they have just step-by-step requirements. And so first you have to do IM, then you have to do sub-Q, then you have to do gel, patches, before you can do anything different. My take on Ohio insurance is they're cheap, because they won't pay for anything expensive. They will do any cheaper alternative before that, because with my hysterectomy, they denied me because I was having irregular bleeding for 6 years. And I was pretty sure I had endometriosis because of this irregular bleeding. It was a sign. And my doctor couldn't really tell without going in there, but I got denied my hysterectomy, and it's because I didn't try birth control ahead of time, which would stop their irregular bleeding and help what my claim was. But the point of my hysterectomy wasn't to stop their irregular bleeding, it was to cure whatever pain and stuff was going on in my ovaries. And so coming to Connecticut, I had no issues with getting my hysterectomy covered. My doctor knew how to write it up perfectly. I got 2 pap smears ahead of time to make sure I was okay to get my hysterectomy. I got blood work done. I got a physical, all that stuff. And that was all that was required. It turns out I needed a hysterectomy very, very badly, because honestly, for a while, I couldn't have sex. TMI, but I would bleed. It would stop sex. I couldn't even have sex. So, like, it was so bad that I needed a hysterectomy, and I got denied it in Ohio, even though my pain was still pretty bad. Just doctors in Ohio don't know what they're doing with the LGBTQ community as much as they do in Connecticut. Connecticut doctors know how to write up things right. They know how to get the treatment you need. And even when I went for top surgery in Ohio, they were giving me the runaround about different letters, my insurance. Like, every time I would submit a letter, they would need another letter, or they would need something else, or they would need something else, or need something else. And I just gave up because at the moment I was like, well, fuck it. It's too much hassle for me to get top surgery, and it's not even bothering me right now. So I just gave up. But basically, with more conservative states, they try not to cover a lot of HRT type stuff unless it's cheap. And with like states like Connecticut, they're really, really helpful at getting you the care that you need. So yeah, like I said, my take on Ohio insurance is they're just cheap, and they don't really want to help. But that's pretty much it. If anybody needs help navigating insurance, you could hit me up. You could make a comment on this video, message me, whatever you need to do. I'm not experienced in navigating any other insurance besides Ohio State and Connecticut State insurance, but I could probably help with a little bit. So I'm here to help for anybody, even trans women if they need the help, and my brothers too, of course. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out.